my most amazing artists. How are you today? I miss you guys so much. I thought it might be fun to make a little video so that I can say hello and show you what I'm working on while we are away from school. Right now, I'm actually using my mom's art studio. I think I've told most of you that my mom is an artist and that's what she does full time. And so I have been lucky enough to be able to use her studio to work on some of my own art. For me, art is something that is very relaxing, not stressful at all, and it's something I love to do whenever I have time or whenever I just want to get my mind off things. So this is a really great space that I find it's quiet and I can work in here. So I wanted to show you a little bit around the studio. So, like I said, this is my mom's working studio, so she uses most of the space in here. She has lots and lots of really cool brushes to choose from. This is where she keeps them all. And she has tons of paint. Now, these paints are called oil paints. They're very messy, so this is not something that I would ever use in the classroom. But as you grow up, if you take more art classes, these would be things that you might use. This is her palette. Right now, it's pretty messy because she just finished a painting. And so these are actually all the colors that she used in her painting. And some of them she's mixed together to create new colors, but it kind of gives you an idea of what her painting might look like just by seeing the colors. So this is her palette, and then this is the painting that she created using those colors. Kind of cool, huh? We've talked a little bit about texture, and you can really see in this flower all the texture that she put into the petals. She just did it with a little plastic comb just to create some interest in that flower. I love that. Now, what my mom does normally is paint portraits, and we've talked about that in some of the classes. A portrait is a picture of a person. She does a lot of judges, a lot of judicial portraits, and so this is one that she's working on right now. This is just using pencil and charcoal. Can you believe that? It looks so real, like a photograph. This is an old one that she did of me a long time ago. My hair is a little longer, but you might be able to recognize it. And then this is just a preliminary sketch. That means this is what she works on before she gets started with the portrait, so she can get an idea of what she wants it to look like. I know sometimes it feels difficult to have to do the same thing over and over and over, but that's what professionals do. Artists do that, writers do that. There are lots of people that do their work over and over until they get it just right. So these are just two examples of the drawings that my mom is doing to prepare for the actual portrait that she will eventually paint. In some of the classes, at least in the 5th grade classes, we've talked about self-portraits. A self-portrait is something that someone does of themselves. And so this is a self-portrait my mom did of herself. Still looks kind of like a photograph, huh? As I told you, sometimes I like to come up here and do art myself, but I am not the same kind of artist as my mom, and that's okay. There's not a right or a wrong way to do art. You just do it from your heart and just let it come out however it wants to come out. Sometimes I enjoy doing abstract art. This is an example of abstract art. I just love to play with colors and shapes and see how they come out. This is one where I've taken all kinds of colors and just started putting them all around the canvas. I didn't even care how I did it. I just took my brush and painted some here, a different color here, a different color here, and then I let the background dry, and then I decided I wanted to use some bolder colors on top. Now this is nowhere near being finished. I usually just leave it, and then when I have time or whenever I'm in the mood, I come back and add a little bit more to it. That's the cool thing about art. Now this one might make you giggle. I've been working on a painting of my dog, and yes, doesn't she look kind of weird? She has a purple block on her head. She has these brown streaks going around her mouth. But what I'm doing is blocking in some colors that I want to show through underneath. And then I'll go on top and I will add the details later. Well guys, that was a quick tour of my mom's studio, and this is kind of where I'm hanging out right now when I'm not at school. So I would love to check in with you this week, and next week I would love to do it several times a week. And what I'm hoping to do is leave you with some art games that you can play by yourself or with someone who's there with you. Also just some journal prompts, and you won't need anything but a pencil or pen and a piece of paper. So hopefully you could round that up. The first prompt I'd like to give you is just to draw a picture of your pet or your favorite animal. And I will check back in with you tomorrow, where I will also draw a picture of my pet or my favorite animal, but that's actually the same thing. So I'll draw a picture of my pet and I will check back in with you tomorrow and share that with you. And if you would like to share your picture with me, I would love it. Have your parent email it to me. They can find it on the school website. Thanks so much. Miss you guys.